Push the weight in the flex. Flex alive is one in the six. With the runner boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC, man. This is volume 2 on what's on the horizon in boxing. My brother, my special guest, Miles Bailey, the aficionado. What's going on, good brother?
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff we're going to talk about today. I want to get a couple of things out the way. The gooseneck, because, you know, I got a couple of boys I'm working with up here. My boy Ian and also my boy Tim. So yes, I want to get them out the way. And my man Larry, who we get ready to really rock in the NBA. But let's get back to the boxing scene. Let's go down for real. I'm sorry to let everybody know the Big Baby and Mike Hunter fight is off because some technical reasons, but it's beyond our control. Plus, it was a little quick, but at least the boxing world got a chance to see that they were going to get their money's worth. And Turkey was making that happen with Dana White right before the Canelo versus Crawford, which was at the Blue Fountain. But we got to move on there. But we're going to talk about Ike tonight because after 26 years, he's back. You know, people say he was a little rusty, a little time off, but he made Afina quit. He made him do the Roberto Duran, no mas.
Yeah.
You know, one of my partners was upset because he thought it was like some kind of ruse, but he found out through the grapevine that Ike was hitting hard. And after Afina talked all that mess, so I'm going to do this and that, he quit. He was doing the towel. But Ike, of course, you know, he did good. He got the W, got the stoppage, he got the work, and he's ready. You know, maybe he needs a couple of fights, but we're going to be fighting him every month now. And that's how it's going down. So I'm going to be talking to my partners, and we're going to be making it happen because because Ike is really that dude. Like, if you remember back in the day with Chris Bird and David Tua. Yeah, he did his thing. And he just couldn't get the shot with Holyfield, Tyson, and Lennox Lewis. They didn't duck him, but it was more of like, it was an easier fight to take. He went inside, he ran into a little stumbling block. But we're hoping to get him back soon in the next 30 days somewhere. I'm working with a lot of people like Stacey McKinley. He heard about it. Stacey was Mike Tyson's old trainer. We're hoping to get him back on board. He should be training Ike in the next few fights, whether, overseas or what have you. And I got a couple other guys I'm working with, like Nermal Lorick and Dave Siege from the Cops and Kids, because Nermal been down with me since 80, so between the both of us, we got over 90 years of boxing experience. And my man Dave, he was the ex-cop, he retired from, and him and Pat Russo are running the Cops and Kids, trying to keep the kids off the street. But then I got this other kid, Demetrius Long. He fights September 12th in Albany, New York. He's the well-kept secret a lot of people don't know about because he's an amateur, because my man Van Van brought him to me. From Van Van fought Jadon Cardington. Van Van said this kid was good, and I've been working with him. We've been trying to get him a fight because he was in the Army. He's finally ready. He wouldn't spar the kid with 17 fights, 15-2. Almost stopped him. So I got a gem there. He's a very well-respected kid. He represents himself professionally. And when he talks, yes sir, no sir, the media's going to love him. And he can fight. He'll fight anybody. So once I get him fight, I'm going to fight him every month. He can go all over the world. Then I talked to my man Derek today, Derek Gramley. He got another 147 from Rochester. He got a debut. His kid is nice too. But we ain't going to put those together because we basically got the same stable. And I'm going to talk to Sam about that. Because Sam, Sam is the man. Sam Watson, he's my guy from Vegas. He's going to be working with me. My man Jim Hunter, he had 40 years in the business. He used to work with Don King, Alfred De La Hoya, Bob Arum, Cedric Kushner. And that's where the correlation came in with Ike Ihebuchi. So we got this thing really popping. Then my man Jerome just called me from Vivo from Vegas. He just got a fight from my other kid, Israel Mercado, 13-1-2 on October 18th in Cali. I just came across the plate today. So we're going to find out who the opponent is. I was talking to him about an hour ago. So we're going to work on that. And it looks like it's a go out in California, October 18th in Cali. Israel was fighting on my daughter's cards with our Matchroom, and He's another well-kept. So he's a 140, but he can fight 140, 142. And Keith Hunter is fighting. Shout out to him this 30th. He's fighting a kid named Bell, 27-0. Hopefully, Keith brings it home. Then we're gonna get on to Michael Hunter because Mike is coming soon. He's supposed to fight Pulev, but since the big baby or Ike the president, we're gonna make it happen because we got a lot of things going for Mike, and we're gonna be working on this to make this go down because it is what it is. And there's a couple of more little situations. My man Dan Garrido, the sensei from Philly, he's working with Bob Arum. He has De Los Santos, Hendry, a lot of kids that we're working with, but those are his fighters. They were mine originally, but I was away for a while, so those are guys are champions. De Los Santos and Hendry now working with Bob Arum. But we got a 168 to 175, 32-year-old Jay Santos is 11-0 with 7 knockouts. So the sensei, he's got a whole bunch of guys ready to rock. But then I want to give a little shout out to the 4 kings we got that's working with my company called RX Sports. Dennis Schultz, Tony Kennedy used to play for the Dallas Cowboys, Eric Mason, and myself. And Mike Hunter is with us. So that being said, any questions you have for me, I like to answer because I got a lot of stuff to rock with. But again, and Willie Dabbs is working with my boy Demetrius. So Willie Dabbs is from up here. He's another cool cat. He's been in the game for years and years and years. But anyway, kick it with me. Tell me what you got for me. So
wow, there's a lot to unpack, man. That's a lot on the horizon. Let's go in order. The new blood that you got, that you're putting out. Tell me a little more about the fella from the armed forces. Tell me a little bit about him.
Yo, Demetrius, he has like 15 or 20 amateur fights, but he's been in there with pros. He almost did something like me. When you come out and you fight guys, you in the gym, you put them with better talent because if you fight inferior guys or guys who held up their hands, when they get in the ring, they're going to get beat. So we see these guys with all these padded records. That's what I respect about Carmel Mouton. And I had a chance to get Carmel because my man had him, Fareed. He called me up. And I was in the halfway house. I said, what's up? He said, I got this monster kid. He was 16 going 17. I wasn't too hot on that, but then I thought about it, but it was too late. He got him going. Now Carmel is 7-0 with 6 knockouts. But the beauty about Carmel, what I loved is that every fight, the first 3-4 fights, he was fighting undefeated fights and knocking these guys out. So that's what I'm gonna try with my guy. I'm not gonna go that deep in the water, but the kid I got, Demetrius Long, he's very talented. He's like 6'1". He's like another Tommy Hearns coming, and he's the real deal. That's the same thing with Derek Gramlin's son. Derek is from Rochester. The kid won a couple of national titles, and he wants to turn him pro. So I talked to him about that this morning. So whatever he wants to do, I'm gonna reach out and make it do what it do, as they say. So, but the Demetrius Long thing, he's going to be something special. If he doesn't get hurt, and this is how we got to be in the game, because what happens if somebody gets hurt or all kinds of personal problems and guys' careers get derailed or get shelved, and that's really what happens to a lot of great fighters or kids with potential. Like I had a kid years ago, Kim Bethel Boykin. And I mean, I tried everything with him. I mean, he lost a fight in between before I got him, but I got him 7 wins out of 8 fights. And the only thing he had a draw. I got him up to 11-1-1. And, I went away. I wasn't in there. Now I came back. He's 11-3-1. He had 2 fights in 7 years. And I feel bad because he's 40 years old. Hell of a talented kid because we came along with Deontay Wilder, Mike Hunter. He was right in that class. He was also the alternate for the Beijing Games back in 2008. So yeah, but back to the Demetrius guy, that's it with him. He's gonna be ready to go September 12th in Albany, New York.
How old is he? How old is Demetrius?
He's 23, 6'1", got a hell of a jab, which I taught him, and he can punch. He got plenty of heart, and people are gonna love him. I'm gonna keep him busy.
Man. You make sure you start him through the strong house, man. I want to give him a lot of light.
Yeah, yes,
man, definitely. What class he's fighting at?
147. He can fight 140. See, what I loved about this kid, so people could know how I know, because I tell people, and I'm going to tell you guys, you have to check your weight every day. Since I've been working with this kid, he's been between 142 and 148 for the last 2 years. That's how I know he's real. Most guys balloon up, this, that, and the third. There's guys that will take their weight, a light heavy, go up to heavyweight, then come. And you're not, what you got to do, you're going to be messed up in there because you got to fight just to get down or fight weight, and you can't really train because you're not in shape. You shouldn't go more than 5 to 10, maybe 15 pounds over your walk around weight that you're going to be fighting. 10 pounds, 5 to 10 pounds is what a good trainer told me. My man Tim Griffith of Mesa, he said, look, Because he said his brother used to do that. When his brother was Montel, used to come in from light heavy up to heavy, crazy. And he'd have to lose 40, 50 pounds. And he was a great fighter, Montel, not taken away, but I'm just giving an example that fighters should not do that.
Right.
Stay 5 to 10 pounds, maybe 12 pounds. So you can just fight your weight in shape. Then the day of the fight, you can balloon back up to wherever you want to be.
Yeah, that's key, man. Because you don't want to have a fat camp the first month. You don't want to have a fat camp. That'll be ridiculous.
Or as Emmanuel Stewart used to say, you don't want to leave your fight in the gym. Because when he fought Sugar Ray, and it broke my heart when he lost, he said, Tommy, I'm going to stop this fight. Because Tommy, he came in a little light. He came in 145. Here's a guy almost 6'2". He should have came in 147. He should have gained them 2 pounds. And that's another trick that Mayweather pulled on Canelo. When they was fighting at that 154, he made him come in 152. And if you notice, he was a little tired at the end. That was good strategy and a good chess move on money-making Mayweather. I got to give him credit for that one. Yeah.
All right, man. Let's talk about the president, man. First and foremost, I watched the if you want to call it the pre-fight stare down. And the first thing I noticed, I like to I'm a health guy. I like to look at the physique. And the one thing I noticed about Ike, now mind you, for those of you ladies and gentlemen that don't understand, Ike been out the ring 25, 26 years. All right. I'm watching his physique. And I said, holy crap. Now, at first you would think, oh man, he's aged. But you mess around, it might be well preserved. You understand? Because he hasn't been taking any damage this whole time. So, although he's 52, what we do know is the last thing to go from a fighter, from a guy like that, is his punch. So he still has a menacing punch. Reflexes, there was some ring rust there. But man, if you're going to keep this man busy every month just to keep his feet wet, I mean, he can have one shot and do something big. That's a possibility. Your thoughts on that?
Well, that's what the key is, because as he's winning, he's not knocking out a guy with one punch in less than 10 seconds. You don't know. That 3-4 rounds, and I predicted that on my last podcast where I worked on the radio station about a week ago, which I'll send to y'all because they have to edit it and all of that. But I said, yeah, Ike is going to get him out there 3 to 4 rounds. And you're hearing it now from the boxing aficionado. And by the 4th round, homeboy was toast. Fina, Eldris, it was done for him. He couldn't take it. He popped all that mess. But now what we're going to do with Ike now is hopefully not just get him rolling, but as he's getting sharper. And it's just like if he's undefeated, he's the type of guy, he don't know how to lose. If you listen to him closely, he said this is 90% mental. He's got his degrees. He's got 3 degrees while he was away. And he doesn't know how to lose. Because when he knocked out Chris Bird and beat David Tua in that long standoff, hey, and he beat some other guys along the way. It wasn't only 2. I mean, he's the kind of guy you really got to, he's going out on the shield. So I think it's destined. I hope he wins. I'm pushing behind him. You know, eventually I hope him and Mike fight, because that's going to be a big money fight, because I'm working with both guys.
Mike Tyson.
Mike Hunter.
Oh.
The bounty hunter.
Yo. You know I'm fucking with you.
Yeah, we can get that straight. I would like him to fight Mike for a money fight, but man, Mike could go a round or 2, but you got to remember, Mike is almost 60 now, so he's a year behind me. So he did his thing with Jake Paul. Kudos to Mike, man. Salute. He did, but I don't think he can really go rounds like after 1 or 2 rounds. That's just my take on it from what I saw. And I've been watching this a long time, just like yourself. You can see, and it'd be nice. I
was just goofing around. That would be like a play money fight or whatever.
Yeah, that would be nice for the people to see.
Yeah, that'd be a good come up for Ike, though. That'd be a good financial come up for Ike.
You know, Netflix, somebody picked it up. It'd be a nice, good. You know, they can orchestrate.
You ever thought about probably getting them on the undercard, on the Jake Paul card? Just getting Ike like as an opener somewhere.
I got to talk to the team and get to the right person. Whoever's Ike's people, whoever's Jake Paul's people that want to make a move, we love to do that because we just want the exposure. He just wants his chance, because if we could turn back the clock 25 years and have that guy that knocked out Chris Bird and beat David Tua, the whole world, he still got people watching because, listen, yesterday everybody was trying to order that fight. And it just went boom because they was over in Nigeria thinking something was wrong. And they had stopped the pay-per-view buys. We left tens of thousands of dollars on the table because they want to go check out where the money's going, who's involved. And by the time they got to the technical problem of it, the fight was over. But it's all good. I'm glad. I would have hated to make $100,000 or $1 million and then I get knocked out. I'd have been really embarrassed. So I'd rather now give the people something to thirst for next time, and we'll have it right. So I got my man Jim. Jim is a technical guy. He knows how it's done, working with all the main events and all those guys. King, so he knows what to do with the broadcast and how it works. And this time, Jim hopefully will be involved. I'm going to try.
Yeah, that's a good look, man. That's a real good look, man. I'm rooting for Ike. If he could have like one stretch or something good, that'd be real good for him. Because I don't want to dig too deep into it, man. But the brother got a bit of a raw deal, a big raw deal.
Yeah, because just to get into a little bit, it got reversed. So if it got reversed, but unfortunately, when there's the court system, when something like that happens, you can't get the time back. They can't reverse and say, okay, we're gonna let you go back to 30 years old again, or whatever he was at the time. No, that's it. You're 52. Boom. That's it. So
What's his situation as far as traveling concerned?
Well, basically, we just gotta get some finances together, which we're working on. That's not a problem now. Where I'm working with some money people, but we just gotta put the paperwork in. Get an immigration lawyer, because now that he fought, now he can actually be gainfully employed. So they can't say, well, what are you doing? Well, he fought. The man's been a professional fighter all his life. He did his penance. He paid his dues as far as they're concerned. It got reversed. So he should be able to go where he wants, when he wants, how he wants. That's just my take. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm pretty sure a lawyer can fight for him now. They say, hey, he had a win. He got a knockout. He's ready to go. If he has another one, it should be no problem now, because you cannot deny a man to make a living. You can't. He has to. This is what he does. I don't care what you do. Even if he was in trouble, if he's making money legally, because hey, that's how it works. I know that happened to me when they were trying to stop me from traveling. The judge said, no, you can't stop the man from making a living. Okay, where you got to go?
Where you trying to get him ranked in the sanctioning bodies?
Well, wherever, as they say, we're going to get in where we fit in. If he keeps winning and if he keeps fighting, his record is before he left, he was in the top 10 or top 5. So I know that was a long time ago. So I think they should at least start him off no matter what in the top 20, 25. And every fight he wins, knock him down 5 or 10 spots. So if we stop him off with 25 now since he won, and he has, because the Feeney, I don't know where, I think Feeney was 42. If I'm not sure, I'm not 100%.
Wait, he was 42 and what?
Steve? He was ranked 42. That guy Afeni.
Well, he was in what sanctioning body though?
I'm not sure. I just remember seeing it, and it just, I could be wrong. I'm not 100%, but I think being that Ike beat him so convincingly, that should leapfrog him to in the 20s or maybe 30s. But his next fights, he should be in the 20s and so on. Give him 5 or 10 points. So I figure within the next fight, about years in, he should be in the top 15 without a problem.
I'd like to see if he keeps winning and he could leapfrog and his namesake, catches some fire. I mean, Hunter couldn't get the Jarrell Miller fight. I don't know what's going on with that brother. I don't know what's going on, but I think with things being how they are, Jarrell Miller and Ike Ibeabuchi,
we would love to take that fight.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly who's handling Miller, but we would love to take Big Baby. Because hey, I got to talk to the team, but I got to explain to everybody how we're going to do it. But we want to, like I said, knock 1 or 2 guys off, because one of the guys that I'm really working with, he said he wants to see competitive stuff. He said he didn't want no cupcakes and no cream puffs. He wants to see Ike in there fighting hard, because he was really saying this might be a tough fight. But I told him, listen, I've been doing this for 40 plus years. Ike is going. And the guy looked at him closely. I said he had the shot because he's 18-8-2. So he scared me them 2 draws, because when you have the draw, I know those are a little tricky, because those draws could have easily been wins. So that was a tough fight. So anytime a guy got a draw, I'm always got to look again at him, because sometimes he's an opponent, and he won, like my man Mercado. He got 2 draws, and he won both of those fights, but he was a B-side fighter. So in the politics, as we know, they couldn't give that guy from either Matchroom, wherever he's from, the law. So got the draw. So it wasn't a loss, but you watch guys with draws, they are very tough fighters. James Toney one time had 2 draws when he fought Roy Jones. He was 44-0-2. See? And to this day, Tony's one of the. That's another guy we might be is on the horizon. That's what me and Sam was talking about. Sam Watson from Vegas. He said, "Yeah, Miles, I want James to fight Ike, but the guy I'm working on, my boy Rydell Booker."
Rydell Booker.
Yeah,
Rydell also fought James.
Yep, and that's the guy I'm trying to fight. So Rydell, if you're listening, I told you I'm gonna give you a shout out. So I got you, brother. I just gotta put it in because, like I said, Ike can only fight one guy. George Foreman fighting 5 guys in one night like he did in Montreal years ago. Yeah. The Fab Five is Howard Cosell called.
There's space where Ike could sneak up into the top 5 and make some noise. There's some space there.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of space. Now, if you can get on the Turki Al-Sheikh side of things and Turki could throw him a bone and say, I'm gonna put you on the undercard to see how you work it out.
I'm hoping, like, between my team and all the people we know, because, like I said, just out of respect to give the man a shot and also get rid of him. You know, if he can't win and he can't do right, cut him loose. But if he keeps winning, hey, because let's keep it real. If you look at Alexander Usyk 5-7 years ago, he was a cruiserweight. Not that he was nobody, but if people don't know, I'm going to go in some history so you really know I know what I'm doing. Years ago, his last loss in the amateurs was to a guy named Sean Porter. And Sean Porter was fighting 140s.
Mm-hmm.
See? But I'm just letting you know. So that's when Usyk's last loss was in the amateurs was to Sean Porter.
Yep.
And it shocked me too when I saw it. I said, okay. He also fought Andy Ruiz. He lost to him too. I was seeing a clip on that today. But yeah, there's a lot going on, man. Keep it coming. What else you?
Michael Hunter, man.
Yes.
I mean, next American heavyweight, is he next up or not?
Yeah, because he's ranked number 1. King did do that. King made that happen because King promised us years ago that I'm gonna get you a shot, and now Mike is 1, and we're just waiting for either Usyk, Pulev, or whoever wants to jump in there and give him the shot at the title because he's the type of guy, I call him Mr. Einstein in the ring. He's hard to beat. Like, he stopped Martin Bacoli. Martin pops all that crap. Boom. Mike took him right out. And Mike was a 7-1 underdog. Stopped him. Look it up. And Bacoli's a good fighter. You know, Martin Bacoli's a very good fighter.
Yeah. And Mike got a high IQ, man.
Yeah.
I think it's time this brother gets some shine. I think so. There's at this junction, there's nothing he can't do. I mean, it's wide open. I had high hopes for Daniel Dubois. He let me down, and he let me down on the sense that when I found out the nonsense that was happening behind the scenes with the 70-person party at this house and then showing up to the arena late, and I said, Daniel Dubois has an above average skill set. When you watch Michael Hunter, Michael Hunter doesn't make that mistake as far as the out of the ring nonsense. I think he seizes that moment, and people may forget Michael Hunter gave Alexander Usyk all he can handle already at cruiserweight.
And I just want to piggyback on what you just said there, because I watched that fight several times. I heard Max Kellerman, Max on Boxing, my man. He said, you know what, people? Michael Hunter is taking Usyk to school. So what had happened was he ran out of gas like a car. If the car runs out of gas, it's going to stop. But he still fought gallantly. He didn't quit, didn't stop, didn't get knocked out. And he lost if there was nothing left. He said after the 4th, 5th round, he was done. So he still went an extra 6-7 rounds just on heart, determination, blood, skills, guts. And he went out on his sword. He didn't lose badly, but okay. But now, and if you notice, I'm going to tell guys again, Usyk fought Dubois twice, he fought Tyson Fury twice, and he fought Anthony Joshua twice. But why don't he give Mike another shot?
Why not?
I'm just saying, just give him a shot.
And I want y'all to understand something. It'll be at a heavier weight division. Usyk is healthier. I believe Michael Hunter will be healthier. And I need you guys to understand. Right now, it might sound unbelievable. Who's Michael Hunter? But let me explain. The way Usyk dominated those names we just mentioned down the stretch of that fight, it didn't go like that. Stylistically, Michael Hunter was competing with Usyk, and he was winning a lot of that fight. He was winning. In fact, Michael Hunter wasn't dominated like how Usyk dominated those three names that we've seen down the stretch in those two fights. He wasn't dominated. He just got edged out. It was one of those fights where he got edged out. It wasn't a robbery, but he got edged out. But he wasn't dominated. What you saw him do to Dubois, and here's the thing, Usyk hasn't changed as a fighter. He's on a roll. He's undefeated. He's on a roll, but he hasn't changed stylistically as a fighter. I think there's a possibility that if Michael Hunter gets another shot at the heavier weight, he'll be more comfortable, because I get the sense that Michael had to struggle to make cruiserweight.
Yeah, he took 30 pounds off.
You see what I mean? So I think if Michael comes in healthier, stylistically, you might see something that you might not expect. This is why this fight is important. But first things first, he's not going to get an Usyk fight right away. Jarrell Miller, he screwed himself out of that. We're trying to get Kubrat Pulev. Mike's going to beat him. I was never sold on Kubrat. After he beats Kubrat Pulev, what's the next move?
Well, we're going to try to take him overseas or whatever, and then we're going to have to wait for Alexander Usyk. And the reason why, because the champ does this, and he knows that, because nobody wants to fight those younger kids that are coming up. Not because you can't beat them, because if you beat them, all you're going to hear is, oh, like Moses did. He's a great fighter. 12, 13 fights. You usually got to get 20 to 25 fights before you're really in there. So I'm not knocking him. He's a great fighter. But there's no upside to beating that kid, because everybody says, oh, he's 20 years old. He got 10, 12 fights. It'll be 100 excuses. You know, so you got to stay in the pool of guys that are in there that we're talking about. So anybody that comes along with 20, 25 fights, like the babies, you see, Mike, we stand for that. We're ready to go, but it's just the circumstances beyond our control. It just, like I say, went south. But as we say now, brother, we're getting at the end of the rope. We almost at that 30 mark.
Yeah.
And we want to try to close it down and give the people there for the next volume, so
Yes,
we can keep them captivated and coming back for more, because we're going to have more in the next go around.
Absolutely, Miles, man. Much love and appreciation, man. Thank you. This is your segment, brother.
Okay, and I'll be.
And always keep me posted, man. Get those young lions through here. I want to give them a lot of shine. I want their social media, and we're going to see everything that they do.
And I got one more guy, my man Terry Canty from Detroit with Al Lowe. They got 4 or 5 lions out there for me too. So Terry was really something special back in the day. And, I gotta give him a shout out. So Terry, well, I'll send you this so you see. I ain't forget you, brother. And all the rest of the people who was out there, my man Blimp, Gleason's, and for the Patchy up there, my man Edward Santana, he's up there in the Bronx. A lot of guys I'm working with, or I'm talking to, and if I missed you, I'll get you on the next go around. But you know who you are, my man. Depot from the Mayweather Gym, and of course Otis. Otis got a whole bunch of lions over there in that Mayweather Gym. Otis Pendleton, that's my Gemini brother. So, I got to give you all the shout outs. I'm showing the love, and I got y'all. We gonna make it happen. Give the fight fans what they want to see. The boxing people, not these cherry picks. The tough type, the tougher. This way, it ain't no hokey pokey and no monkey business.
No monkey business. We don't like monkeys this way. Man, salute, Miles, man.
Yes, sir. God bless.
I'm going to send you the link so you can share this. I'm
Yeah,
going to upload this ASAP, man. Much love and appreciation, Miles, man. We're going to talk.
Yes,
No
sir.
doubt.
Thank you. God bless.
God bless, man. That's the boxing aficionado, Miles Bailey. Man, if you love the sport, you're going to love this. Bronx on deck.
Move!